Welcome to Startup Hack. Are you tired of handling exceptions in every method? Have you ever thought about streamlining your error handling and enhancing logging with Global Exception Handling Middleware? Today, I'll show you how to advance way to handle exceptions globally instead of managing them in every single block. So let's dive in. All right, welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thomason here at Startup Hack. We love training software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions for companies. So I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO with over 25 years of software development and 10 years of executive experience. I've mastered the art of transforming technology, teams, and products. All right, today we're going to dive into the essential middleware every ASP.NET Core API needs. So let's dive in and take a look at these slides here really quick, and then we can go into a little bit more. So handling exceptions in web applications can be super tricky, often leading to unhandled exceptions and poor user experience. Many developers opt for a simplistic approach like scattered try-catch boxes, which can result in inconsistent error handling and maintenance challenges. Enter the indispensable Global Exception Handler Middleware in ASP.NET Core, a powerful tool for centralized and robust error handling. In this blog post, in this video here today, we're going to dive into implementations, integrations, and benefits of using middleware in your ASP.NET projects. Now, we're going to use Serialog alongside with built-in iLogger to leverage Serialog's advanced logging capabilities, such as logging to multiple syncs, example console files, and as well as structured logging. We're also going to use the following NuGet packages: Serialog, Serialog.extensions.hosting, and Serialog.sync.files. All right, now, as with always, we have a full code samples, so make sure you go over and download the full code samples because we've got the whole code sample here for you, and what I'm going to use today, we always upload so that you can use these today as well. So don't hesitate to go and download those code samples now, but let's go ahead and dive into the code because that's why everybody's here. All right, so for our code here today, and I'm going to get my head out of the way here, we're going to dive into using some of this code. So if you open up the program.cs, and hopefully, again, you've hit that link down below and gone and downloaded the code, you can see that in our program.cs, we initially start off by initiating the logger. Now, if you go and look at our dependencies here, we have added the following packages, right? We've added the standard, Serialog, extension, hosting, syncs, and the ASP.NET Swashbuckle, right? So here we've got the logger configuration, and we're going to set the logging to minimum level for information. We're overriding the log event of warning, and then we're also enriching from log context. Sorry, everything I pop over here. We're also going to write to a file called logs/log.txt, right? So we're going to see our logs folder here, and we're going to create a log file, and then it's going to also create the logger. We're going to tell it to decorate with using Serialog. We're going to add the controller, and we're going to set this to development. We're also going to add the Global Exception Handler Middleware, which becomes really one of the critical pieces to this project here, right? Now, we have a controller here, which is just a sample controller, right? So we have a sample exception that we're going to throw here, right? Because we're just going to throw this new one. So when we call the fetch users, it's going to throw this because we're purposely trying, we're throwing an exception here so you can see how to handle it. Now, in this middleware, and as you can see in the program.cs, we're going to say use this middleware, and we're going to give it this class of this global exception handler. So let's go to this class here, right? So this, we're going to do the global exception handler, and we're going to use the iLogger class here, right? So in our constructor here, we're going to use a request delegate, and we're going to use the next, and then the iLogger is what we're going to be passing in. Let me get this out of the way here for a second. We're going to set the next for the logger, right? And we're going to set this to throw a new argument, and then also set the logger here, right? We're all going to tell it to invoke the task async here, right? So this is going to move on to the next and set us to what this next one is, right? And that's how we're going to set these. So this is going to log an error. But without further ado, let's go ahead and fire this up here, and we can take a look at the code and see when these fire, right? So in our controller here, what we're going to do to fire this off is we're going to run our website. And while this is starting up here, I'm going to pause it while it starts up here for just a second. Okay, so we start up our application. You can see automatically it's going to load up this, and then it's going to automatically fire into the, send a request to this weather forecast, which is going to then trigger this fetch users, right? And this is going to trigger this and then fire off this exception. So when it fires this exception, you can see that it's already caught here on this global exception handler. I'm going to get this out of the way here. So you can see that it grabs the name of next and throws that type of an argument. So let's step into this, and it's going to fire the logger. Whoops. So that's going to have already fired this off, right? And so it's just running Swagger on here. So you can see our Swagger page. And so, let's fire that again. So you can see that it throws. So this is what's going to throw the exception. So if I step into this exception here, it's going to throw it here. And you can see this is actually where it's hitting this global exception handler, right? So it's going to step into this. It's going to log it to the error. It's going to throw this log, right? So we have the logger.log error. It's also going to hit this next logger and then also return these status types in our context here, right? Then it's going to return that. And now if we go back to our web page here, we're going to see it has thrown an exception, right? So it's going to return that message and return a status code of 500, right? So we've got our status code of 500, which is a server error. Now, if I stop this, I can also open up inside of the application here. So I'm going to go to our log folder. And if we go to our log folder, we will have seen that it just wrote out this exception here in the log, right? So we've got our formatted exception here in the logs. Now, there's some previous ones here from when we wrote this, but you can see a lot of exception that just happened today. So this is an unhandled error. So you can see that we got log. You can see that also handled it, and we were able to catch this in the global exception handler. Now, the best part of all of this is to make sure that you pull down and look at the code that we've got here, because we have hundreds of free coding samples. So check out that link down below, because we have hundreds of free coding samples. Because here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and to help companies connect their unconnected systems and build custom software solutions for a company. So check out the link down below and you can pull this down. Hopefully this has been helpful to give you some examples of some of the middleware logging that we do here, and that ASP.NET makes super easy for us with these middleware loggers. I remember having to write a lot of these back in the day, and so now in .NET 8 this has become really simple to be able to use right out of the box. So check these out, pull down the code, and we will catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.